Hi everyone. So today I'm going to introduce you to the metric system. Some of you may have some experience working with the metric system, others may not. And I'm just going to approach this as if you have not heard of the metric system very much. And let's just get started. You should have in front of you right now a worksheet that looks like this. Your teacher should have given this to you in class. I'd like you to use this to help you take notes as you're learning about the metric system. The metric system is used in science worldwide. And since this is a science class, we are going to stick to the metric system. We will never use units like Fahrenheit for temperature or inches for length or miles for length or pounds for weight, and so on. We will be sticking to the metric system, and the units that are used in the metric system are as follows. In order to measure mass, we use grams, which is abbreviated with a lowercase g. Okay? For volume, we work with liters, which is a capital L abbreviation. And length, the base unit for length is meters, and that is abbreviated with a lowercase m. Okay, so these are the base units that are used in the metric system. If we were dealing with very large masses, for instance, we might use prefixes along with the base units in order to describe the amount of mass. Like if we were describing the mass of a building, let's say, then we would probably use kilo as a prefix along with grams to describe that mass. Okay, what a kilo means is that means 1,000 units or 1,000 grams. In other words, 1,000 grams equals 1 kilogram. All right. Now you'll notice that I wrote a lowercase k along with my lowercase g. That is an abbreviation that represents kilograms. Let's say I was measuring the mass of a very small object. Let's say a grain of salt. I might use the prefix milli to describe that mass. Okay, a milli is 1,000th of a unit. So 1 milligram would be 1,000th of a gram. Okay, or in other words, 1,000 milligrams is the same as 1 gram. Okay, so we're going to use prefixes along with the base units to describe masses that are very large or very small. Okay, and we're going to get lots of practice doing this. Let's take a look at the other prefixes here that we're not going to use as much. We will use centi, which means 1/100th of a base unit. In other words, 100, let's say centigrams equals 1 gram. Okay, a deci, which we're really never going to use, but I do want to just describe this to you. 10 decigrams is going to equal 1 gram. So a decigram is 1/10th of a gram. And here, now I filled in the rest of this. 1 gram would be the base unit. If I had 10 grams, that would be 1 decagram. And we're never going to use that prefix, but I want to throw it out there so that you can see what that means. This is a hecto. So the 100 grams would be 1 hectogram, and that is being shown right here. 100 grams is a hectogram. We will never use that either. So as we're talking about this right now, let me just really emphasize the only prefixes that we're really going to concentrate on in chemistry will be kilo, base unit, centi, and milli. And to tell you the honest truth, most of what we're going to be using will be just basically the base unit and milli and kilo. So really, what I've highlighted here, please remember, these are the prefixes that I want you to be familiar with, okay? So make sure that you know those. Make sure that you know what they represent. All right, so I cleaned this up a little bit, and I want to now show you how we can do conversions within the metric system. It's going to be very important that you know how to convert, let's say, from milli to centi to base unit to kilo and so forth. Okay, I want to show you a very easy way to do this. You can easily remember the sequence of these prefixes by remembering this mnemonic device, okay? So I'm going to write the abbreviations as I say the words. So King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay, these are the first letters in the prefixes kilo, hecto, deca, base unit, deci, centi, and milli. Okay? So let me repeat one more time. So we've got King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. Okay, we are going to use that sequence of prefixes to solve the following conversions. Okay, let's just start with the first one. Now, some of these are extremely easy. Some of these are, you're just looking at the definition of what they are. 1,000 milligrams is 1 gram. But I want to show you how we can use this chart, or whatever you want to call it, the sequence of letters, to solve these problems. All right, so in this first conversion, we're going from milligrams, okay, to the base unit. And you can see that what I'm doing here is I'm jumping to 1, 2, 3 boxes, okay? So going from milli to the base unit, I'm moving 1, 2, 3 spaces to the left. Now, if we zoom in on this number, and hopefully you know that we've got an imaginary decimal point there. 1,000 is the number, and we jumped 3 times to the left. 1, 2, 3. Okay? This gives us this many grams, 1.000 grams. Okay? I just showed you how you can use this sequence of prefixes and to move a decimal point either to the left or the right. In this case, we move to the left 1, 2, 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3 spaces. All right, let's try another easy one. Let's say going from the base unit, 1 liter, to milliliters, okay? So if I'm starting with the base unit liter, I've got 1 liter, I'm going to move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 spaces to the right. All right, let's move in, or zoom in on this. I'm going to erase that, zoom in. Okay, now you know the imaginary decimal place is there for that 1 liter. I'm going to move the decimal point 3 times. 1, 2, 3. That gives me 1,000 milliliters. Okay, I'm going to clean that up a little bit. and that is the answer. All right, those were two super easy examples. Let's try another example. Let's go to 160 centimeters. We're going to convert to millimeters. Okay, so 160 centimeters, we're going to convert to meters. We're going to go from centi to milli. Okay, we're going to move the decimal place once to the right. So looking at 160 and knowing that the imaginary decimal point is there, I'm going to move one decimal place over, and that is 1600 millimeters. Okay? This is a very simple way of converting within the metric system. It's not the only method that we'll use, but I would like you to get familiar with this. Okay? Hopefully, with time and practice, this is going to become second nature to you. You won't need to refer to the King Henry died by drinking chocolate milk. You can just kind of know for yourself that going from kilo to milli, let's start that over, from kilometers to meters, that's going to be 3 decimal places jump to the right. Okay, so we would go from 14 to 1, 2, 3. That's going to be 14,000 meters. Okay, 14,000 because we started with kilo and we went to the base unit. 1, 2, 3. Okay. All right. All right, then stop the video for a second and try the next couple on your own, all right? And I'm going to give you the answer. So click on this when you're finished and then hear the answer. All right, I hope you actually did this. But we're going to go from grams to kilograms for the next one. What that means is this, and let's just clean this up. I should have done this earlier. Let's clean this up. And let's try this one. Okay, 109 grams, we're going to kilograms. So 1, 2, 3 to the left. All right, 109, there's our imaginary decimal point. 1, 2, 3 decimal places to the left. Our answer is going to be 0.109 kilograms. And for the next one, going from base unit meters to kilo. All right, well, that's 250. There's our imaginary decimal place. We're going to a larger unit. We're going to go to the left 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so the answer is going to be 0.250. Okay, let's take a quick look at the last two here. Okay, so your job is to see which of these values is greater or less than, or if they're equal, they're equal. In order to compare these two measurements, let's take a look at centimeters versus meters. In order to make this comparison, you've got to convert one to the other. Either convert meters to centimeters or convert centimeters to meters. I think I'll convert centimeters to meters. And in order to do that, if you look at our chart, we're going to go from centimeters to meters. That is going to be a jump of 1, 2 spaces to the left. All right. So that takes us to 1, 2. That's going to be 0.56 meters versus 6 meters. I think it's obvious that a half a meter is going to be way less than 6 meters. Okay? You have to convert in order to know which is greater or equal or whatever to the other one. Okay? Or just to see how they relate. So let's take a look at this one. Let's convert one side to the same unit as the other side. Why don't we try converting this to milligrams? Okay? 7 grams is going to be 7,000 milligrams. Okay? Obviously, that's going to be way bigger than 698 milligrams. Okay? You can see how, in order to match or compare these numbers, you've got to convert so that the units are the same. There are 2 worksheets that I want you to complete now, having watched us talk through the first page. I want you to do this page, and I want you to do this page. You've got enough information now to solve all of this. This is due during our next class period. Good luck, everybody.